485 days ago, I was diagnosed with ADHD and life went to shit. Hi, for people who doesn't know me, my name is Jingwen and I have ADHD. The reason why I want to make this video is for people who are struggling and hopeless and wondering, when will this all end? If I'm being honest, ADHD was always kind of there. Me and my family, we kind of know it, we kind of don't. We don't know the term, but we know something is not right. That's why when I first got diagnosed with ADHD, I was like, everything makes sense now. And and all jokes aside, I was shocked. I was more shocked than feeling anything else. I felt like deep down inside me, something is cracking. I didn't know what was that feeling. Is probably because I've been masking my whole life and now there's a piece of paper that says, hey, it's not your fault. A lot of the emotion used to suppress come back to the surface again. And it's like putting a Mentos into a Coke. Yeah, there's almost no way that you can stop it because you start wondering, hey, wait a second, is there a better way for me to learn? Is there a better way for me to work with other people? Is there a better way for me to communicate with other people instead of, what I've been told my whole life? You start wanting to find answer, and finding answer is such a scary thing to do. But of course, I was doing what I did best, which is suppressing my feelings and emotions. And that's when I started to create my Instagram account. In the beginning, I do a lot of like skits and memes and almost translating everything that I felt that is very, very suffocating into something people can share and laugh about. And it was honestly a very good feeling, because who doesn't love trauma bonding? There's a lot of jokes, a lot of look back at my past and like, I see. Why the hell nobody ever noticed that? The first time I ever took my ADHD medication, I was obviously very nervous about it because I've read so many experiences from other people. And when the medication first started to take effect, I felt like the world started to quiet down. And I start to sit down and I just felt that calmness, like someone held me gently and told me everything's gonna be okay, that you don't need to be scared anymore. It felt like a supportive mother that I never had. While I was doing a form that I was supposed to be doing 3 months ago, and I was like, wait a second, this is not that hard, And I can feel myself deep down inside me, something cracked even louder, because I felt like this is so unfair. You can read things one word at a time without hearing the background noises, and that's when I first noticed the difference between people's brain, because I wish I had that medication when I was a teenager. I wish I had that calmness back in university. Then maybe I don't need to cry in the middle of the night and hate myself for not being able to finish a goddamn essay, and I don't need to go through all the yelling and beating from my parents just because I don't understand the difference between a centimeter and millimeter. And I felt like shit because the whole time I hate school. I love knowledge, I'm always very curious, but I hated school. And I really want to get a master's degree, but even just a bachelor degree during COVID time was extremely hard for me. I keep missing midterms and I feel like a horrible student. So when I first took that medication, and I thought, damn it, like, is my life gonna be different if I just took the medication a little bit earlier? Doesn't mean I don't actually have to went through all the shitty thoughts. But I tried to push it down again because I felt like it was too much for me to handle, and I don't know. I don't want to think about the what ifs, right? Because how is it gonna do any good? Life continues. I just keep taking the medications, and I try to spread the ADHD awareness. Soon enough, everyone around me know that I have ADHD, including my workplace, my relationship, my friends, and more people discover that they might have ADHD through me, and it's a great feeling because I thought, oh, at least now you know it's not your fault, and I'm very happy. But at the same time, those symptoms won't stop just because you know about them. Just because you know that you might have attention deficits doesn't mean you magically stop having them. And just because you know that you might had a mood swings doesn't make it any easier when you're experiencing those ups and downs. Just because you know you have ADHD doesn't mean that you might know what type of support that you might need. And despite how many people trying to help me out at the time, and I accept those help with a lot of appreciations, of course, but the more they're trying to help, the more fucked up I got, because they thought all I need is just a bit more patient. But that's not true at all. For example, back in my previous workplace, they thought if we have more meetings, we'd be more clear on the schedule, and we have a more detailed structure, more micromanaging, more instructions. And they thought it will help, right? They thought, okay, maybe you just need baby proof. And I thought that's what I needed as well. So I actually stayed in that job for a full year, and I cried almost every day. And during those process, there's one time that I cried and I told my manager that, gosh, I feel like that kid's sitting with their teacher during lunchtime. And I felt so powerless. I can't be my best self. I can't be creative if there's someone micromanaging my every step, but I don't know what else to do because I don't know I don't know how else I can perform in that structures. And the more I tried, the harder I felt. Things just get more and more hopeless because you were trying to help me. You tried to help me, I tried to help myself. Then why the fuck is not working? That's all I can think about at that time. Why am I still upset? I'm already taking medications, and later on I start taking medication for my anxiety pills, and anxiety pills doesn't just stop my anxiety, it stopped my ability to feel anything. I don't feel joy, I don't feel like I'm hungry, I don't even know what feeling feels like at that point, but I needed those medications because otherwise the life that I had is just not worth living, it feels like. Because every day I woke up and the thought I had was, damn, another day of incapableness, another day of just stepping into an office that reminds me that I can't work like other people, just another day of trying to persuade myself that I am capable source of the society, another day of me trying to figure out a way to not live on the street, because I feel like that might happen if I don't keep this job, if I can't even perform in an environment where they're trying to help me and trying to support me. And if someone already chew the food for you and you still can't swallow, that means I am unhelpable. That's honestly what I felt. Same thing with relationship. I feel like it's just after month and month of back and forth, and it just seems like I'm still that person. I still forgot to reply messages. I still forgot about important dates. I am not good at arranging date nights, and I'm a horrible texter. I don't check up with them during the day because I might get hyper-focused when I'm on my ADHD medications, and Jesus. What the fuck? And my room is a mess. I try to clean it, I don't know why, it just felt like the mess just always there, and I'm so ashamed of it. I'm always trying to clean, I'm always trying to keep things tidy, but nothing ever works. I felt like I'm such a horrible woman because we're supposed to be clean, right? But no, like that's just how I grow up. My mother probably have ADHD, so I always grow up in an environment where everything is everywhere and nothing is done. We have a wall that is half painted, we have books that is bought but never read, and it's just lying down in a bathroom, and I don't know why is it there. Nothing I do was right. Nothing I do was right. That's what I feels like. I'm so fucking tired of it and I don't know what else I can do. And I remember calling my friends in the beginning, but I was like, fuck, I can't do this to them because I don't know. If I don't know what I needed, how can they help me? I'm tired of talking about it in my therapy sessions. At the time, I paid 12K, my own saving, 12K to become a certified ADHD life coach. And every day I'm getting new information about ADHD, and it was liberating in the beginning because now you're more equipped. But then you just get so tired of those because I get it. Then help me. What else I can do, right? Great, I know my brain is different structurally and chemically. I know the society is not built for me. What else is new? Can you just fucking tell me so I can move on, and can I just have a life where my effort meant something? Can I just live up to my potential? I called suicidal hotline 3 times in a day. I had panic attack twice. And during New Year, I remember I was crying till 4 o'clock in the morning. And I asked myself, what's the fucking point? I don't know how I can live through another day feeling like this. I asked my family doctor, could it be bipolar? Is there any more medication that I can take? And turns out I'm not bipolar, it's probably just ADHD and some past trauma. And I was happy, but at the same time, I was like, okay, now I'm on my own. And I remember when I first had my panic attack and my doctor gave me one of those pills that has way stronger effect, and it might be addictive. And I sat on my bed and I cried. I was just like, why? Why me? Why me? Because I'm a happy person, I'm funny, I'm caring, I'm great at loving other people and bringing people joy, but why the fuck I have to be the one that went through all this shit? And why I'm so weak? Because obviously people likes me and they trying to help me. Why can't I just accept help? Why are those help not helping me? Like, God, like why? And to a point where I just stopped asking why and I just lived. I was just like, fuck, let's just do it. Let's just live through another day, And I don't remember anything that happened during the past 6 months because it was so painful to a point where my body's starting to have dissociations. And my therapist was worried about me because my personality has completely changed, and people who are close to me is like, you have changed. You're not the person I know anymore. I feel like your heart is just not with us. I'm just like, I know. You got anything new to tell me? Like, I know. I want to be happy too. I want to go out and have fun and don't worry about tomorrow. I want to go out and enjoy lining up with my friend without worrying about loud noises that might overwhelm me. I want to taste again. I want to taste what my favorite food without wanting to throw up. I want to read a freaking book that I really, really freaking enjoy and not get distracted by thoughts came out of nowhere. I want to just let that voice inside my brain just shut up for 1 hour so I can finish the work that is absolutely necessary for me to get paid, so I can pay rent. I want to cook for my boyfriend because I love him and I just can't because it was just too much dishes for me to clean and it hurts. It hurts so much. It hurts like I will never be happy again. Until one day I decided to just fuck. I don't want to live like this anymore. I want to live, but not like this. I remember I was in the workplace and someone was talking, and I just remembered, like, I suddenly understand why 18th floor's window are all locked. And I honestly thought about, if I just jump out of the window, maybe my pain will stop. And that idea shocked me because I am someone who has a very strong survival wishes and I love my life. And why me? I didn't do anything wrong. I just simply don't understand a long ass email. I don't understand how people can sit in the same spot all day and just be doing what they've been told. I think that's a great skill. I just can't do it. I don't know how to do things that I'm not interested in. I don't know what to do when I just woke up with dopamine deficits. I don't know what to do. And I want to live. And I want to be happy. So I quit my job. I broke up and I made a video about it. And when I was editing that video, I saw a photo of me and my ex, and I break down again, and I texted him. I was like, why other people can do this, but why can't we do it? His reply was, we're making a hard decision, but it was the right decision, and I agree with it. But still, part of me was devastating because I've tried everything, I've given everything. My stepmom called me and I was crying on the phone, I can't breathe, and she was like, are you drunk? And I was like, no, I've never been more sober. And I cried and I'm just like, I don't want to live like this. I'm too scared to go back to my home, China, because I felt like people still misunderstood me there. My dad don't understand what I'm going through, and instead he just told me that just, power through it, and I can't power through it anymore. I can't do it. And my stepmom told me that you need to stop thinking about so many things. I was just like, I literally can't. Which part of the I can't control it that you guys don't understand is literally I can't. My thoughts are racing. I'm crying, I'm breaking down, I'm not drunk, I'm sober, but I can't because I'm so sad. I just wish you guys would listen to me. My dad called me and we tried to have a peaceful conversations. The moment when he said, you should try to learn effortlessness means, but the way he said it sounds more like, don't let your emotion take over you. And that's where I break down again. I cried. It's just crazy. And I told him, like, I can't not feel things. The more you told me to suppress my feeling, the more pathetic I become, because I want to feel, and I feel a lot, and that's who I am. You know me as a child. I'm always that happy person, bring other people joy because I felt things. I'm so empathetic. When people cry, I cry with them. And what's so wrong with it? Why do I have to feel like that I am the weird person, that I am being too much, that I am not good enough? Why can't you just see me for who I am? Dad, do you even like me? And he paused and he said, of course I love you. And I told him, like, no, but do you like me? I want you to like me. I want you to be my friend. I don't need nobody to protect me because I'm doing fine on my own, but I want you, out of all people, understand that I'm not just being a pussy right now, that I'm not just crying over nothing because it's so painful. Can you just please? And I paused because I ran out of energy. I don't know how many times I can repeat that. And that's where my dad said something that changed everything. He said, maybe I've treated you like an adult way too early on. Maybe I treat you like an adult when you were just a kid and you needed me. And that's the moment when I realized that it was, yeah, he was right, because I was just a kid all along, Even till this point, I am 25, and if it minus the 3 years in COVID because we don't have any social interactions, I'm basically 22. And if it minus 3 more years because ADHD people usually have 3 years delay compared to neurotypical people, what does it make me? I don't know. I can't do maths right now. But what I meant is all the thing I went through, all the things that happen in a society where I am not capable and blah 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 blah, it was not my fault. And I just learned to be self-sabotage because I didn't have the right informations. We didn't know about ADHD. My dad, their generation, they only know how to be efficient and how to make money, and that's the best thing they can do for their kids, is giving them a happy, or not even happy, it's just don't make them starve and give them the best education they can thought of. They wouldn't know, right? And my teacher wouldn't know, and that's when I realized forgiveness. That's the first day I ever felt like I can forgive myself. Forgive myself, forgive that 15-year-old me who just being a little brat and trying her best to hurt herself. What does she know? She's 15. She doesn't even know how to wash her underwear properly. And that's where I realized that maybe I'll give her one more try, where I just put my feeling first and put myself as priorities, where I'm the one to find people that I like, find a structure that works for me, find structures that fit me instead of other way around. Maybe instead of hate myself every time when I do something impulsive, calling myself a dumbass, maybe I can start from there and try to focus on the problem instead of self-sabotage myself. But it's so hard to do because that's self-sabotaging was the only thing I knew for the longest time, and we've all been told that you need to be a little bit more disciplined, you need to be harsh on yourself if you want to achieve your goals. But we never even question if that's the right mindset. And that was the first demand that I asked for myself. To my dad, I told him that please don't tell me to suppress my emotion anymore. We need to take care of the emotion first before I can focus on the problem itself. Because after all the years of neglecting, not just because you, like my dad, neglecting my need and not his fault, which is, ignorance, but also myself, because I don't know how to take care of myself. Without knowing that it was my right to take care of my emotions, I can't possibly focus on solution. I need to create a space where I feel heard and safe, a safe space where I can just be myself and without judgment. Then I will never be able to step outside of my trauma. Finding that space is hard, but not that hard. Starting from making friends that have similar experience and learn more knowledge about mental health and ADHD and all that, and talk to people. I was so brave about it, I think, because instead of talking to my friend first, I decided to call my dad almost on a daily basis back then. I told him that what I felt that day and what I learned, and there are moments where the trauma comes back up, because we didn't have the best relationship back then, but we're getting much better. And I realized that he too have a lot of trauma inside him, and he don't know what to deal with it as well. And I start forgiving him, and that's so hard to do, because forgiveness means when you chose the past to forgive, it literally means that you have to forgive them every single time. I chose to forgive my dad, and I chose to forgive every time when he was being defensive about my ADHD, or when he misunderstood me as a kid, when they punished me. I forgive my parents for beating me up when I just need someone to explain to me patiently. And I made that decision where I just gonna move forward and not looking back. I made a decision where I'm not gonna give energy to the things not happening yet. And it's a really hard thing to do, and I'm still struggling with it from time to time, even now. But it took practice, but I'm getting so much better at it. And now I can start to actually forgive myself and accept myself, and I felt peace. I found peace. And I thought the answer of ADHD or the answer of true happiness meant I will have a stable life, a beautiful house, a partner, a great job, great taste in fashion, beautiful face, and I can take care of myself like, you know, a fancy adult. But what really happened was nothing changed. I'm still in the same positions, wearing the same clothes, different haircut, but I'm a different person now because the level of peace that I felt inside me makes me a self-powered engine where I can just keep going. And by keep going, I meant even in the days where I felt less motivated, I stopped calling myself a loser. And that's where the magic happened, because I remember one day I felt really bad. I just want to go home and lie down. And that's where my friend stepped in and was like, no, let's go take a cold shower and reset your dopamine level. And it worked so well, and I was so surprised. But I opened up the possibility for let other people step in and give me suggestions, and sometimes that suggestions works out great. There's a lot of moments back then where I thought I'm over it, I'm over my depression, I'm over my anxiety, blah 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 blah, and it always relapsed. But this time it felt different, and it felt so clearly different because I'm not just suppressing my fear. This time I look at them in the eyes and said, I get it. I get that you're trying to protect me, but I got it from now on. And I felt like a true human being. I'm no longer just a kid, you know, waiting for someone to save me. And another thing that I think I did right during the process is I was brave enough to cut off relationship or attachment that doesn't work. And it's so painful, and it's even painful to think about it right now. But the worst possible thing that you can do to yourself is just keep staying in there. You keep staying and keep holding on to an attachment that is not healthy or that's actually hurting you, and that's where it stopped. That's where I feel like ADHD is no longer just a monster exists in my life that ruined my life and determined my life. Now it becomes a term to explain my behavior sometimes, and it doesn't define me. And now I can focus on being creative and doing things that I find meaningful instead of stuck in a position where I thought maybe I'm not good enough to do it because I have ADHD. And now I can hold space for other people because I have been heard enough, and I felt like that part of me is no longer taking my energy away. So instead I can use that space and hold space for other people. That makes me a better listener. That makes me being able to actually care for other people and trying to learn how to listen. And I've tried to make more friends that we have similar goals and energy, and I've changed my definition of friendship because now I can have conversation with no meaning, and I've never felt so happy in my life. And it took 485 days. A job, a relationship, some hard conversation with my dad, books, courses, lots of after work hour working on my own social media, but we're here now. So I want to tell you that there's hope, you're not alone, and I'll see you in the next one.
Well, that's okay, baby, only words, please. It's
Scene!